Yeah, I'm feeling connected to my higher self. I always seem to find this version when I'm by myself. I had no problem being alone, but they tell me every king needs a throne. But I don't want no fancy chair crown, I want a home. Thought you wanted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of the Julio and Ice podcast. I'm the handsome one, and I'm chilling. We got a special guest today because now, Maddie, Ice, you come in a package. You come in a package today. We got Ryan Medeiros here live, and he's in his living room, I think. Where are you, Ryan?
No, I'm in my office room / man cave. I can't believe it took 24 episodes for me to get on this. Goddamn thing. What are you guys just waiting to make money?
Right, man. Right. Hey, can I just throw a little bit of your bio out there? You got a master's degree in speech pathology.
Are you going through my LinkedIn?
I don't want people to think that this is just a filler episode. This is a serious episode. I got a master in speech pathology. Pathology? I can't even say. I'm dyslexic. Look at that.
It's so complicated that I don't even do that anymore. I don't do that at all. Nice to know. Yeah, I got handed that. That was easy. You guys could have all done that.
But before that, Ryan, you went to LaSalle.
Yes, I did.
You went to LaSalle, and listen, I met Maddie, 2010, right, Maddie? Like 2010, and then obviously, Ryan, you came along with it, and then Maddie used to always tell me, like, man, Ryan, my brother Ryan's nice, and then he showed me the highlights, and then, Maddie, I think the first thing I told you too, I was like, man, he can play college ball. He can really play some college ball. Man, he can really play. Ryan,
do you remember what I said after that?
He's not better than me though.
No. I didn't even say that. I said,
you probably did.
I definitely did. But what I was saying though is Ryan just, if he didn't have to practice in college, just play the games, he'd play in college.
Yeah. I'm not waking up at fucking. Oops, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
I'll try not to swear on it. I'm not waking up at 6 o'clock to play basketball. That's not happening.
Right. I do want to talk a little bit about like your growing up in Westport. I mean, obviously we all know a lot about Maddie since we talked about him enough in 24 episodes. A big question that I want to ask is, playing with your brother is probably one of the, I would say, for me, I don't have any brothers. Would you say it's the best experience you've had, as a basketball player? I mean, playing with my brother would probably be the illest thing ever. And I don't know, having a brother like Maddie it's really cool to have, because he was kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm laughing because like I don't want to say it was a great experience, but I was also just like, I kind of sucked when I was like younger. So I was never really good. Like if I was good and could have like competed, it would have been awesome, but I just kind of sucked. So like Matt would always just like, and I was like super emotional and like, sensitive. So if Matt, like in the game, would say something to me like, yo, man, shoot the effing ball, I'd be like, this kid, like, I suck. I shouldn't be out here. Like that sort of thing. So if I wasn't like that, it would have been a lot better. But then it was always like, Matt just scored like 40 points and like my dad didn't even know that I had 2. So
That's not true. That's a true story.
No, it's actually a true story because I scored 2 points. True. I scored 2 points in a playoff game. And they put my picture in the paper of me scoring the layup, and my dad was in the crowd talking to somebody else in the picture. But what I'm trying to say is,
I think I remember that.
It was so funny, bro, because he's like, yo, you didn't score in the game. And Ryan's like, yeah, I did. And then when the picture came out the next day, it's kept like this, turned around, missed the bucket.
But what I'm trying to say is like that stuff, because I was young and immature and like selfish, used to like piss me off, because I was just never that good. And it was always like about Matt. So as a young kid, I was just always like, this is kind of shitty. Whereas like I didn't appreciate it as much as I would now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for you in your position, it's hard for any probably little brother to kind of live up to the expectations of the older brother. But Ryan, we saw the senior highlights, man. The proof's in the pudding, man. You had a game. Your senior year, you had a really good senior year. What was your record? I forgot the record that you guys went pretty far, right?
Yeah, we only lost 4 games, including the one we were eliminated on. So we had like a really good season. We had a good team. I wish I could go back and like just have not been so shitty until my senior year. I was terrible. Like I just played like such a baby until then, you know.
Well, I think some of it is when you go back and think about it. I think that's his junior year, Julio. That's the year like I graduated. So that's a tough year for a high school kid being 15, 16 years old, trying to think that you got to fill someone's shoes, because that's whether you think that or not, that's what the perception from the outside is. And I think as a 15, 16-year-old kid, it's a really hard thing to separate yourself and be like, I'm a different player. Because that's what I try to explain to people. Ryan and myself, we're not the same player at all. Like we're just two different players. And if you watch his play, it's like that. And then I think his senior year, he found his own, because I remember going to a few games and you could just tell with him, it was always confidence, because when he was a sophomore, I was a senior, how he described it was true. He still hadn't grown into his body. He still wasn't confident himself. He could play. He should have played more, I thought, my senior year, but it is what it is.
Weighed like 78 pounds.
Soaking wet. Chicken. That's why I call him Chicken Man.
The Chicken Man, and he had the tall tee under. He had the tall tee under the jersey.
Yeah. Couldn't show the pipes yet.
I don't even think I used to wash that. I think I used to wear the same shirt. I swear to God.
It's the game ritual.
But with most kids, I think it's a confidence thing. You grow into that.
Of course, yeah. I mean, he definitely did. They were throwing alley-oops from half court.
Yeah, when you throw oops to your point guard, it's a little different. They weren't throwing oops to me.
Yeah, and then that leads to the other thing, Julio. Like when you talked about LaSalle and all that, like I never even thought about it, because I just had fun in high school, and like it was free reign. Like there was no sets, and like if there was, we would like pretend to run one, and then I would just shoot it. But I wouldn't have liked that. I wasn't like disciplined as a basketball player, so I wouldn't have liked that in college. I could tell you that. I would have hated it.
One thing for sure is that you're passionate. I could just tell by the way you're a sports fan right now. I mean, you could tell the way you played and how you are now. You're passionate. So I think if you would have gave it even a half a shot, I thought you would have been a natural, because you play like a natural. Like Maddie said, you guys got different games.
I appreciate that. I
what's
had
the
more fun
difference?
watching you guys.
Stop it. What's the difference between you and your brother's game, Maddie? What do you think? What come on, I want to hear a little bit. We talked about it, but now you're on the mic. Let's go.
Well, I'd say Ryan's game where he excels is that he's like, I think he's more athletic than I was. Like jump, like vertically too. Like he just off going to the basket, he's a 2-foot jumper, right? He can get up, he can elevate higher on his jump shots. He really played he was a really good point guard in the sense of like, I think he averaged like his senior, like 17 or 18 and like almost 10 assists a game. So I don't know. I just scored in different ways. I think I'm a better shooter in the sense of like catch and shoot or whatever from three, like more consistent. But like, I don't know, like if, I told you, like when we play one-on-one, obviously Ryan can't, well, no one really can guard me, but that's just my personal opinion. But I struggle guarding Ryan because I can't contest his jump shots. If he gets to his spot and elevate, it's a wrap. But that's why I say I think we're different. He's lankier. I wish I had his body. Like
God,
he's 6'1", 6'2", with that
just
length.
slanky, just like scratching his knee standing up.
Yeah,
I wish I was 6'2". If I was 6'2",
no, with your length,
I would have put 6'2" in my Bumble profile a couple of years ago.
No, I was just talking about your length.
Oh man, we get to see it in action in a couple of weeks, man. I'm excited to have you guys.
I've been training every day.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I've been running because I don't want to die. Because last time, I don't know if you guys remember, like 2 years ago, I thought I was legit gonna die in one of the games.
It is a struggle.
It was like game 3 of the day. I was like, no, I couldn't even feel my knees.
Yeah, I think we got the schedule figured out. We got 1 on Friday and then 2 on Saturday.
Oh, it always is. It's just it's that Sunday, bro.
I know.
Minute restriction.
I'm ready to see you guys. I'm ready to have fun and hang out with the Medeiros brothers. I guys want to tell you this before we move on, but it's very refreshing and it's a pleasure to be around you guys. You guys accepted me. You guys didn't know me from a ham sandwich. And then I show up in I show up in Westport. What holiday was it? I think it was Easter.
I will say this before you finish that. I knew from the first, as a guy, when you meet another guy, like within the first minute, if you're gonna like this person, if they're a douchebag, or if like, all right, this is somebody I always want to be around. I knew within I don't even remember what you said to me, but you said something to me as if you had known me since like 10 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I love this guy. Like literally in the first 30. So I think I saw a picture of you on Facebook. I was like, I love that
guy. Man, I appreciate that. You know, I mean, I was gonna just go down that line, just say, you know, I love you guys, and it's gonna be fun seeing you, and you know, I hope we can continue this, and I hope the viewers out there, or the viewers or the listeners, you know, they see a good relationship, a friendship, you know, over 10 plus years now. So it's good to have good people in your circle, and you know, I got a good group.
And we used his music for the first 20-something episodes too.
And we used for free.
I don't even know where you guys got access to that. I can't even access half of that stuff.
Speaking of which, you need to send us some of those tracks, man. I haven't heard no new beats. Daddy needs them.
Yeah, I haven't been putting a lot of time into them, but I will once they're. We'll talk in Maine.
All right, we will. Moving on.
Let's move on. Let's go to the NBA Finals. I think the last time we talked it was like game 2, so I don't remember what it was. So now it's Bucks have won 3 in a row. What are your initial thoughts, Rye? What are you thinking?
All I'm gonna say is like, if the Suns won the finals, this is what I would say. I would say that's an unbelievable accomplishment. It's great for them. If the Bucks win the finals, I'm gonna say Kyrie Irving was hurt. Like they didn't really win. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. I don't know. Like I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it just feels like a little bit fake. And then the third thing I will say is, if the Bucks win, the Suns blew the last 2 games. Blew the last 2 games horribly. Like Chris Paul blew one on a turn. And it wasn't just that play, but he blew game 4 on a turnover, and Devin Booker blew game 5 on a turnover, a bad turnover.
Yeah, I would somewhat agree with that. I think Julio, to what we were talking about after the first 2 games, you and I were like, you know, Chris Paul's going to get MVP, whether he deserves it or not. And I said the only way I could see him not winning is if he played really bad. But then I also, on top of that, said if he plays really bad, I don't think they can win the series. And that's what's happened the last 3 games.
He's been bad.
Yeah, he's been pretty bad.
But is it like, do you think it's him bad? Just straight out bad, or is it like, do you think the Bucks have just kind of like thrown some different stuff at him?
Yeah, I think they figured it out. I think the Bucks figured it out. Chris Paul is averaging 21-8 on 54 shooting. Like he's playing like decent, but like he's making like critical errors. And for a pro, for a 16-year guy who's been anxious to get into the finals, you know, he's making too many bad decisions down the stretch for sure.
And Drew Holiday was the biggest difference because he sucked until last game. He was not good until last game. And then last game,
offensively,
yes. He made the biggest difference for the Bucks, and then obviously Middleton too. But the other thing I want to say is Devin Booker's 40 points is great, but he makes some dumb plays at the end of the games, like almost every game.
Well, I have to be consistent too, because I've always said this. He had 40 on 33 shots. I'm not that impressed with 40. I'm sorry.
He took 33?
Yeah, 7. He didn't shoot a terrible
17 for 33?
Yeah, which again, not a terrible percentage, but I mean, I hope you have 40 if you took 33 shots. I mean, you should minimally have 40.
Yeah. You definitely. You know, so what happens game 6? This is what I think is going to happen.
All right, let's hear it.
Before you go. I think they go to 7. I think they're going to go to 7.
I think it goes 7. The reason, not to cut you off,
No, go ahead. I need you to go.
I personally think Phoenix is a good team. I can't see them losing 3 in a row. I'm not saying they win in 7. I just can't. Eventually, you know, it just has to even out. I feel like they have to win a game.
Yes.
I can't see them losing 4 straight. That's crazy.
What does that do? What does that do for the CP guys?
I think that kills his stock.
What do you mean? Is he still?
Because it's not like like you guys just both said, he hasn't played well, so it's like it doesn't look good on him. If he played really well and just got,
it's also weird because like even the games they won, everyone's like, wow, what a leader he is, just because he's there. Like I don't know if he necessarily like led them to those victories in the play. Like he had some great games, but like everyone's like, Chris Paul, man, he's the leader. Like he is. This is his year. Like I don't buy into all that as much as everybody else does on Twitter. I really don't.
No, I think the coach is a good leader. I like him, Monty. Yeah. But let me ask you a question, because there's been a whole bunch of stuff that's been thrown at me and I've been thinking about. Do you think that Giannis block, which was very incredible,
don't even say it,
not better than LeBron?
It definitely was. It definitely wasn't better than LeBron.
For 2 reasons. Physically, like watching it wasn't better, and then the moment it was it was game 7 of the NBA Finals.
And it was literally like,
and 40 seconds left in the game. or whatever, like a minute. And if that layup would have gone in, it would have been a totally different game. Totally different ending.
I would totally agree with that. I just also someone was like, well, I don't know. Giannis had to like play the ball, then turn around, then go block that loop. I'm like, well,
so
he's
like
also,
he had to play regular defense, like he had to play
he's
defense
also-
the right way.
He had to do his job.
he's also 7 feet tall. He's got like a crazy wingspan. So it's like, I don't know. The chase down block to me, even though, and again, I'm not a big LeBron guy, it still was ridiculous.
It was probably the best like NBA Finals defensive play ever. And I don't like the Giannis block was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was like an unbelievable game-saving block. I honestly think Bam Adebayo's block on Jason Tatum was better. I do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
call.
a great call. That was
an
a hell of a block.
unbelievable. Like Jason Tatum had to wind up from his ass. And block it. It could have broke his whole arm.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I thought Bam's arm was snapped.
That was a more impressive block.
That's a good call. That was an
and it
unbelievable
legit
block.
saved the game. Like that was the game. Game was over.
Yeah, I've been struggling because like
people just need something to tweet about it. Like,
Well, no,
this is the best block ever.
no,
Like,
I struggle with Giannis. I struggle with Giannis, and I don't.
I
think
don't like him either. I've tweeted some bad things about him. If you go to my Twitter profile, I've tweeted some negative thoughts about him.
But what's wrong? But guys,
He's very likable. He's very likable. I don't.
Extremely likable.
No, I'm saying about his game. I don't.
He stinks.
Like so Julio. The way I said my most recent Giannis pick was that against the Nets down the stretch, he like wouldn't guard Durant. The games that the Nets were winning.
Oh, right.
That pissed me off because it's like you're a defensive player of the year or whatever.
But see, that's why I think that defensive player of the year is a crock of shit because he's really a not a great on-ball defender. He's a great help defender, but shit, I'd be a good help defender if I was 7 feet tall too.
Yeah.
I just like, yeah, and I agree with Ryan's point. Ryan kept saying that whole series. He and my answer was that he can't check him because I don't think he's that good at on-ball.
No, he couldn't
defender.
guard him, but he could have at least, tried.
But I don't know why I hear people talk all this great stuff about it. And it's like, I don't want to shit on him because I really do think he's a likable superstar. He did exactly what I want superstars to do and stay in the place they got drafted and, win a championship there, not leave and go the easier route. Like I respect that. There's something about his game. I just don't find it impressive. And I think I can go on this later when we get to the next topic, but I just don't find it as impressive because I think it's more of an NBA thing than a Giannis thing. I really do. And on top of that, James Harden, as much as I hate him, he was kind of right when he had that little feud with Giannis. And he's like, well, if I was 6'10" and whatever, I could do all that stuff too. Like saying like doesn't have skill.
Yeah, I mean, he's a specimen. First of all,
he's a freak. Yeah,
it makes no sense. Like he came out like that. Like he came out of the body. He had a jersey on.
He is skilled. I just don't like the way he plays.
But what do you say? See, when I say skilled,
skilled is Devin Booker.
Is Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
I'm talking about someone.
Like he can dribble the ball. Like go back to like when like Jerry West was playing. Like a guy that tall could not dribble the basket.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get
that's
it.
That's a skill.
The ball. I guess when I'm thinking of Giannis, because everybody says he's a top 5 player in the NBA, I try to compare him to someone that's like him, and that's Durant, I guess, just because of their body type, all that. Like Durant has handle, Durant can shoot.
What?
Durant's not a great passer. People say Giannis is a great passer. I still don't really say great. I think he's a good passer, but like, he don't really have handle. He don't really have handle. He don't really have.
He doesn't. He can't dribble like Damian Lillard, but I'm saying
can't dribble like Durant.
No, but Durant's a generation. I'm talking like he can get a rebound, dribble down the floor, and finish. Like that's.
I think my take is this, and I think just because I'm watching Giannis too in the playoffs, and he's not like a terrible. Like he knows how to play basketball. So the NBA game now, we all know to be in the NBA. How many players are there? 350, whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if there's that many.
Whatever it is, the amount of people are in there, like 90% of them are in there because of their athletic ability. Would you say?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And
it's
so
not
he is the best athlete we probably ever seen.
100%.
At the size, physicality. And he's just a solid basketball player. So the fact that his athleticism is giving you like 80% of what he is worth, the 20%, you could be just a solid basketball player and dominate. And that's what he's been doing, man. Yeah. Did you see that lob? Did you see the lob?
No, that was ridiculous. I mean, Drew Holiday, that was a hell of a
that was
pass.
Ridiculous.
Because I was like, why are you passing that?
And the last thing I'll say about him is that when he is hitting shots, which like it's not often, but when he is,
he's unguardable.
Yeah,
he's the most unguardable player probably in the world.
I think
when he's hitting shots.
I think where I have issues with him when I think of like people say he's a superstar, which I know he is, but he's not like the one on that team. To me, I've already told you, Middleton is 1B to his 1A. Like he's not. It's not like Kobe,
but then
it's not
like a superstar. Yeah, I agree. A superstar to me is somebody where it's like the game's tied, and that's the guy you give the ball to.
There's not even a question. He's just not. I don't know, but he's a freak.
He's a freak, man. And you know what? For whatever it's worth, if he were to get the MVP for the finals, if they win it, I wouldn't be mad.
No, I wouldn't be mad either. But I also would say Chris Middleton should have a shot to win that because he's been there's been quarters he's unbelievable.
Yeah, but he won't. He won't.
I know they'll give it to. It's just like Julio and I have talked about. If Suns win, Chris Paul's again. It's a
automatic
political thing.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Thing. All right. So your predictions are what? Who? Give me. You're saying who in 7? You're saying it's going.
I'm actually going to say Bucks and 6. I am.
Okay.
I'm going to say Bucks and 7. I'm saying Bucks and 7.
I think I'm going to go with my gut here. If I had to put my money on it, blind, and a fat woman's holding my arms behind my back, Bucks and 6.
I think it's Bucks and 6.
Yeah.
I don't think they lose at home.
Yeah, it'd be tough to lose that. That'd be a bad loss.
And they haven't had a great game as a team yet. If you look at like they haven't had.
No, the Suns have been winning.
That's what I mean. They haven't had a great team game. So if they do, I think the Suns are screwed.
All right. Something I wanted to talk about because there's been a lot of talk about this, and I haven't really been able to talk about this. So what are you guys' thoughts on? Again, USA has bounced back in the sense because they've beaten Argentina and Spain before they went to Tokyo, but they lost 2 straight to Nigeria and Australia. So what are you guys' thoughts on them losing 2 back-to-back games?
Okay, right.
Because some people, the reason I'm asking, sorry, to preface is some people have said it's embarrassing. Some people have been like, oh, it's not embarrassing. They learned how to gel and all this blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think?
I watched the Australia game, and that was embarrassing. If Matt Dellavedova is on the other team on the floor when the game ends, like you should be a little bit embarrassed. I'm serious about that. Patty Mills was mixing up Kevin Durant. That's embarrassing. The reason I think it's embarrassing is because you have they have NBA talents on their team. You have the best league in the world and some of the best players in that league in the world. You should be able to figure out, and probably one of the best coaches, best basketball minds in the history of basketball, and Popovich. You should be able to figure out how to beat that Australia team or any team. But then the other thing I'll say is that I don't buy into what pissed me off and why I have that opinion is then you see the refs, they let a lot of stuff go. This is basketball. If you played Australia at Rucker Park, they're gonna be bumping into each other and shit. That's such a lame. That's why I got that. That part's embarrassing. Don't say that.
I think. Here's one thing. First of all, I'm gonna skip because I know Maddie has it on the next side. First of all, Kevin Love should have never been on the team. I just want to say that before we get started.
Probably why they lost.
Kevin Love should have been on the team.
He's terrible.
He's so bad. How is he gone?
Julio was going off.
It's just because you know why it was. He wasn't that healthy in the regular season. And when he was playing during the regular season, he was acting like a child for those times where he was inbounding the basketball, frustrated, getting mad, kind of being like a little baby on the team. He was that guy that you didn't want to be on your team because you're just going to cry. He was him. He was being him for a little while for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I didn't respect the fact that as soon as the rosters came out, he was like, all right, I'll play. He should have passed it over. He should have gave it to somebody else. Kevin Love. Haven't been nice since when?
Timberwolves.
Got here.
Never.
When he was in the post.
He was a little fat kid in high school. Fat.
But I think to go on your point, I don't think it's embarrassing. I think to be honest, the NBA guys, they're just tired. I'm not trying to give them excuses. They just don't look.
They don't look engaged.
They don't look engaged. They don't Jason Tatum's missing a lot of shots that he usually he was averaging 40 down the stretch of the season. You know what I'm saying? He's just not making shots that's routine for him. I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say my point is, and my strongest point I should say on this is that number one, this is an indictment on the NBA. Those 2 losses. I don't even know. You don't even have to go on embarrassing. I think it's an indictment on the NBA and how they play the game because watching a FIBA game was refreshing. There was actual defense. There wasn't bullshit calls. There wasn't, I think Tatum tried to complain to the ref once. I didn't see him complain the rest of the game because honestly, the ref probably told him to shut the hell up. Like, I don't even care I don't even know who you are. Like, whatever. Yeah. Who are you? I don't like it. Just was refreshing because you watch like a basketball game. And I just think it's an indictment on the NBA because a lot of people don't realize in FIBA, there's no defensive 3-second horse crap. Right? The court's a little more condensed. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like the style of basketball was refreshing to watch. And I don't know. I just thought it was an indictment on the NBA. And to Julio's point, I don't think the NBA players really cared that much. They kind of treated it. They were in Vegas. They probably were drinking the night before. Something.
I was gonna say to Julio's point, and this is from like the Jordan documentary too. Like every other team is gonna give you their absolute best game every single time. Like they want to beat you so bad to say that they beat you. And like the Team US is not coming out like that with that same fire.
With the mentality,
at all. So,
but they have enough pieces. I think that's why everyone in the world is frustrated. That's why
that part is embarrassing.
But everybody's like, oh, the world. I've heard people like, yeah, the world has gotten better. Yeah, 100%. Like in positions in basketball, like centers in the league. Like how many centers in the league are foreign players that are like top 5 players? Joker. You think of all those guys are all foreign players. This Luka's a foreign player. Like there's so many foreign guys in the league that are good. So I get that the world has grown, but come on. Don't tell me that Team USA should lose 2 straight games. Because they didn't have enough time to practice.
If they lost the first one and then beat Australia by 90, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, correct. But they lost 2 bad games in a row.
Nigeria hit 23s that game though. I was watching that game.
Maybe you get a hand up.
Before I go on, I only watch it because you guys let me use the YouTube TV. It's nice. It's really I'm fortunate to have that YouTube TV account. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it was the first game, the 27th.
Well, I guess what else you want to talk about too is like all the COVID protocol stuff. Now Beal's gone. They just said Zach LaVine's out.
Yeah, I just saw
he's going later in the week. It said.
But like it's COVID protocol stuff. And then
they did Tokyo. I don't know what we can and can't say on there. You might have to cut that out.
Let's say it.
They can't even have sex over there. You see that?
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
You gotta keep that.
They made these cardboard beds that if you put.
I did see that. You can't.
It'll break.
Why? Because they're trying to population control.
No, because of COVID.
Oh, really?
They don't want athletes having sex with other athletes because they don't, like in the Olympic Village, they don't want to spread COVID. So like they are trying to keep people out of their rooms. The rooms look like shit.
Do you think those NBA guys are going to stay in a cardboard bed?
No. Those guys? No. They'll be like, where's the Ritz card? They don't even know how to do that. Those guys are so pampered.
I thought that meant like everyone who was playing in the Olympic Games.
If you look at those rooms, I would say some of those guys would opt out if that was.
You remember what happened last time they were down in the Olympics? I think Boogie and all them, they were in that brothel or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck controlling them, but I don't know. I don't really. I like.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be like It's gonna be like like an army base. Like they don't want that. That could ruin the whole Olympics. So yeah, it's gonna be nuts. And also, there's no fans, which sucks. Like that sucks.
What do you think? So do you think they win gold? Would you?
No fans in the whole Olympics. No fans.
Yeah,
in the whole
there's no
Olympics.
fans in the whole Olympics.
That sucks. You're gonna have like soccer. Someone's gonna score a goal. The guy's gonna be ripping his shirt off. Just be silent.
Do you think? Do you like? So the odds I saw was like -250. USA wins the gold. Would you take those odds?
Yeah, I'll take the odds. I'll take it.
Probably not. I'll take the field.
Yeah.
Who's the field?
Anybody else.
Okay.
I just think there's too many personalities on that team. I do.
But they're gonna get a guy since Zach LaVine's gone, right? They'll get another guy.
Well, he's coming back, so I think they want to. He might be back right before their first game, I think.
And then Dev Booker's going after the finals, and so is Chris Middleton, right?
And Drew Holiday supposedly. I don't know. I don't know if they'll go. I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Yeah, that's kind of tough, man. They get no break.
No, I read it the other day that they're expected to go.
It's pretty intense, man. It's pretty intense. I'll take the USA just because,
It's
I mean, I hope they do win, but I'm just not very confident after that shit.
Hey, don't sleep on the Boricuas, man. Puerto Rico, we're here, baby.
Are you playing with him?
No, Shabazz Napier. Come on, he's Puerto Rican. Let's go.
What about Javi? What about Javi?
Javi, the track runner?
Is he? Yeah, is he running this?
He was the only Puerto Rican in the entire running event. Like there was one Puerto Rican.
Right. We were watching in college. We were watching one of the Olympics, and this dude, just the only Puerto Rican guy, his name was Javi, and he had like these big glasses. So. Get big goggles. He had goggles.
Javi. That was Julio's guy.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, don't forget when Carlos Arroyo gave Allen Iverson those guys the business. Don't forget, baby.
Carlos Arroyo was nice.
Nice. Come on, man. We got little victories. We hold on to those. Big pun. Stand up.
Yeah. I just hope the games are at normal times too.
They're not.
I was just thinking about that. Oh, they're not.
They're not.
That sucks.
There's one of them that's like 8 a.m. on a Saturday, I think, and then the rest are nuts.
Because I remember I was waking up when 08, that Beijing team in China, that 08 Redeem team. I woke up to watch. I watched that finals at 4 a.m. That was awesome. Like I had to watch that squad though. That squad was awesome.
Yeah.
But that's what
another team like that.
Well, they're also like we were just talking about, like they had more pride because they just had been embarrassed 4 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was. So they had pride repping their country, but like I feel like this team doesn't have star power either. Like that team had Kobe, that team had LeBron, that team had D Wade. Yeah, Melo, prime Dwight Howard, prime CP3, Darren Williams.
Yeah, they were stacked.
Actually, the times are not that bad. It's 8 a.m. this Saturday, next Wednesday at noon, and then 8 a.m. the following Saturday.
Who are they playing?
Yes, this Saturday they're playing France.
Gobert,
Frank Ntilikina,
and then they're playing Iran. They're playing Iran on 12. I just feel like Iran has a lot going on right now. Like they should be putting together a basketball.
They shouldn't be focusing on basketball.
And then the Czech Republic.
So they have a pretty weak pool. France is probably all right. Evan Fournier's bum ass probably out there too.
Evan Fournier, oh god.
Celtics re-sign him. I'm out. Right, give us a Celtics take. Maybe just a quick what you thought about this year, and what do you I need to know what you think going for. You're a big advocate on Twitter for the Celtics.
You are.
Honestly, I've been telling people that New England sports are dead for like the next 10 years. I've been saying like there's nothing to root for the next 10 years, but the Celtics don't have a point guard like at all. And I know that Julio, you're a big Draymond guy.
Yeah, but you gotta get rid of him.
No, I'm saying like I know I don't want to like say that they literally don't have a point guard right now. Like
New Haven product, Tremont Waters. We gotta get him on here. Let's go.
No, the Celtics are they're in trouble. I mean, the league is getting very good, as you could tell by this year, and they have, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jays want to leave after this year or one of them wants to leave, because if I was Jason Tatum, I'd leave tomorrow because they're wasting his time. The new coach that's great, but like you can't have Marcus Smart on the team anymore.
Why not? He's the heart and soul, baby.
No, I'm so out on him. I was so in on him, and I'm so out on him. I'm so done with him. I'm out on him.
I couldn't agree more.
I went to a wedding, Julio. Me and Matt went to a wedding, and somebody said something at the wedding that made a ton of sense. They said before every game, Brad Stevens should say, "Marcus, you have 6 shots tonight. You can take 6 shots. Once you hit 6, you cannot shoot the ball anymore. You're done." Like that's what they need to be doing. But no, serious take is that they need to make I think they need to make a big move. Like they need something.
What do you like?
What it is, but
your culture's done. The Celtic culture is done. And I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for that. Like the hard nose,
Well, we got to get off that though. People aren't like that anymore. I agree with you, Julio. Like it's always like,
it's like
Celtics pride.
Jason Tatum gets too much credit. He's an awesome player. He's a superstar, but he's such a lazy baby.
Yeah.
He is. I hate watching him play defense and stuff. It drives me nuts. Like it drives me crazy.
And Julio, back to what you were saying about the Celtics pride thing. It's like that's what like all the fans like. Like with Brad Stevens before they obviously moved to GM. They were, but it's not like that anymore. Unfortunately, you have to sell your soul to these players. You have to. It's no longer about Celtics and the team. It's
nobody cares about that.
No, you have to get there, but you have to get the best players and somehow create a team around them so they'll stay. That is, unfortunately, that's how it is.
Thinking about them gives me anxiety. Like thinking about watching them next year, like gives me anxiety. It really does.
Were you guys okay with? I mean, I know you guys were like, Kemba just cost too much. He was. You guys couldn't afford him no more. You had to get him off.
After
the cap.
watching him this year, I was fine. Like I like Kemba Walker, but after watching him this year, I don't care if he's on the team.
Yeah.
Why? What happened though? You know the reason why? Listen, before you go into it, just 3 guys who need the basketball.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me next year what point guard are you going to find next year?
I don't know.
Like,
that's what that's why I'm anxious about. Like I have no idea, but I just
they made this move for hopefully not this year, but the next year to get another max slot. I'm not saying like Kemba Walker's a scrub or anything. I just think financially they had to make that move, and you had to get rid of one of those big contracts. And unfortunately, people are like, oh, Al Horford's back. I'm like, all right, everybody relax. The guy left. I will never forget. That guy left.
Who could you be?
Philly.
Who could be excited about that? And and especially after he made that layup on Philly and screamed.
Oh my God.
in Marcus Smart's face, who would be excited about that? That's
how old is he? He's 36, 37. Like, he's not coming back to be Hakeem Olajuwon. He's gonna come back and be Al Horford.
He's probably gonna coach.
Yeah, he's gonna be director of player development. He's not able to make. Come on,
unbelievable.
You know what it is? The Celtics fans are everyone. I'm telling you, I feel it on Twitter. Like they just need something to be excited about because there's nothing.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, hold on. What about Cam Newton, baby? Cam Newton over there in New England.
Fig Newton.
One more year. One more year
of what? Watching him throw it off people's knees, throwing it off people's toes. That's the whole game. It's like, oh, he dropped back the pass. He threw it off somebody's cleat.
So so you're gonna go straight to mac and cheese? You guys want mac and cheese, huh?
Oh yeah,
that's a whole different story. But I just feel very hopeless about like all of Boston sports. And somebody said like, "Oh, the Red Sox are good." Like, who cares? I don't care. They can win for the next 10 years. Like, no one's gonna be excited about it.
Why not?
Because who cares? It's like if you're not good at basketball or football, it doesn't matter anymore. I guess hockey, but
well, hockey too. Julio, it's weird though. The dynamic has changed because like early 2000s,
you guys are silly, man.
Red Sox were almost the number 1 team in this New England area. It's baseball has just changed. Like baseball is the 4th sport now. Like Ryan said, like whatever, it'd be cool if they won, but I wouldn't be jacked up like the Pats or the Celtics.
If the Mets or the Yankees won a championship, it'd be a big deal, right? But if the Knicks won a champion, the city would legit blow up. They would start blowing shit up. It would be nuts. Imagine if the Knicks won. There's Knicks fans like that have been waiting for like there's probably people in the ICU right now, like 96 years old, just like I can't die yet. I have to watch the Knicks win a final.
Yeah, well, unfortunately they're gonna have to pass away.
Could you imagine Terry Cohen if the Jets won the Super Bowl?
Well, that's what I mean. Basketball and football is just like if you suck at those sports, you live in a terrible city. I don't want to like be a part of that. I didn't sign up for that.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Being in part of Connecticut gives me the free range to kind of bounce around with teams. You know what I mean? I'm a Carolina Panther fan, baby. Carolina Panthers, man.
I like that you're a Knicks fan. I was rooting for you.
I know.
It was the best. That video you coming out with the jersey on. Like, I know how excited you were. And when they lost that first game at home, I said,
oh, dude, there's no anger like that. Like, I used to, like, ruin my, like, relationships and friendships after the Celtics would lose in the playoffs because it was just don't.
And people knew, they're gonna FaceTime me and laugh at me, after the Knicks just don't show up.
I would never do that.
They weren't even in the playoffs. What are we talking about? They give the Hawks a bye. We fucking stunk so bad.
My hope is that next year though, the Celtics are watchable again. I don't like, to me, I'm like you, Julio. Like I'm not fan, fair weather, I should say, where like you've been a true Knicks fan when they've been dog shit in the league.
John Starks, baby, Allen Houston.
I just can't watch the Celtics if I don't like the style of basketball they're gonna play. Like if they're gonna play the same way they played this year, I can't watch it. It's not that I'm like.
And I wasn't a big fan of the way Brad Stevens subbed. Like, picture if you will, right?
Those lineups are awful.
It's like Grant Williams, Big Grant,
Semi Ojeleye, like.
Why are those guys on the roster?
If I saw Semi Ojeleye at a Chipotle, I wouldn't even say hi to him. I swear to God, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't care. I'm better than him.
So Who do you guys think you guys can snab in the offseason? Because you need somebody.
I was
You need
just
at least
talking about this
one
the other
body.
day. Like we need a point guard. You need somebody who complements Tatum's game and Jalen. Like Kemba Walker did not. He's not a pass first point guard anyway. So if he can't shoot, he was awful.
Yeah, I agree.
They need somebody who could complement their game. I don't know who it is.
Because here's my thing. You know, people's like pipe dream was like, oh, get Dame Dollar, but like Dame Dollar's a better version of Kemba Walker.
Number one, that would never happen, and number two, it wouldn't really. It would be great to have him, but it wouldn't really like improve. I don't think it would improve a lot of things. I really don't.
No. Is it possible though? Could you get him if you like?
Yeah, you'd have to trade a lot though.
Really giving away, yeah, and he's kind of old. And
because my thing is this: someone's like, "Oh, well, would you trade Jaylen Brown?" I don't know. Like, are you really better if you trade Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard?
It's like a gamble.
Maybe
it's a gamble. It's not.
I like Jaylen Brown, so I'd have a hard time.
They're both ball stoppers, though. Like him and Jason Tatum, they're both ball stoppers. That you get to them, and it's shot clock down at 9, and they're gonna go.
Well, Tatum a little bit.
Tween, step back.
No, that's more Tatum than Brown.
But then
Brown does it too.
Brown makes quicker decisions. Tatum does the could hold it for 23.
Like if we had Chris Paul, that would be. If I could pick anyone, it would be somebody like that.
At 37?
No.
No.
I mean, like
he's saying,
like at a younger age, someone who plays like that, who's like smart, is a pass first option, but can also score. Like that's the ideal point guard. We haven't had a point. Celtics haven't had a point guard. We haven't had a point guard in a long time.
Yeah, for the people that can't see it, what is that?
I got this shirt from my girlfriend because she kept hearing me call him a coward when he said he was hurt 2 years ago and didn't want to travel to Boston because that was a game me and Matt had tickets to.
It's a Kyrie Irving shirt.
He's a bit, whatever. We don't have to get into that.
I love you guys, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
Maddie, I know we got some questions for Ryan before we finish this thing off.
I actually have one question for you guys, but I can wait till the end.
Oh, you said you have more than one though, so this is good. We haven't had no one ask us any questions.
I do have questions, and you want me to ask now? Or
Let's do it. Do it.
Yeah.
All right, so like, try to take this question with a grain of salt because my friend, you know Ian Matt, and I don't know if you know him, Julio, but he was at like a bachelor party this weekend, and you know how he's like a troll. He'll say stuff just to get people mad. He said, like, dead serious. He's like, if me and Jerry West were the same age, I'd beat him one-on-one. And he was like, and then he sent me game film of Jerry West or something. Like I went on YouTube and I was like, this dude sucks. Like, I know like basketball was like a golden age back then, but seriously, if you and Jerry West were the same age, like if you went back in time and went to college with him, could you beat him?
It's you
right now.
It's we're gonna lose listeners, but go ahead. I got my answer, man.
I take pride, so I'm gonna say yes. It's just a stupid ass thing.
No, basically he says like if you watch footage of the NBA, maybe before,
it looks ridiculous.
It looks terrible.
When you watch Bill Russell looks like a Martian compared to everybody else.
What I'm saying is like Ian's like we could have had like 50 points a game if we played in like the 40s, like the 50s. But what do you guys think? I'm serious. If a team of us, 5 of us, went back to like the 40s when they would do like the pivots and like all that like old basketball, I think.
And I knew how to play how I play now.
Yeah. Yes, like I think we'd be okay.
Oh, I'm dominating.
That's what obviously. That's but it's not obvious to a lot. Like a lot of people are like, no way. That's like the golden age of basketball.
That's just like the old. Yeah, it's just.
I think we would kill them. I think we would be like multimillionaires and
make money like
Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. They'd be like, who the fuck are these guys and how are they doing all that with the ball? Like,
you gotta tell Ian to stop thinking about that shit. Ian couldn't score 10 points in a high school game. Never mind playing back then.
He had a lot of injury problems.
Yeah. Hey Julio, it's the same dude that said he was gonna lock me up in the 3-on-3 tournament we had last summer. How'd that go for him?
Oh yeah.
No, but he made a good point. I want to see what you guys thought. I really think if we got a team of us 5 and we travel back to the 40s, like we'd show up in the gym and they would just shit themselves.
Well, yeah, because you'd be doing stuff that they didn't teach and
you know why? We can go back and talk about it, but Russell Westbrook is running by Bob Cousy, and he is dunking on him every possession. Why is
It's
Bob
not even
Cousy still
close.
top
Why do we
50?
still talk about that? And like, people are gonna hate this one too. But like, Larry Bird was a great player. Like, if you put Larry Bird in your top 5 of all time, like, and you live and you're alive right now, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, but I respect that, because if you do that, because I'll always have Kobe in my. I always say he's number 2 behind Jordan, and that's not accurate, but that's just bias, and that's what I grew up like. If you were,
yeah, but that's
like
like,
if you were Dad's age and you grew up watching Larry Bird, like you're gonna idolize Larry Bird, no matter what, even if you're wrong, you're gonna say Larry Bird.
yeah,
I agree with you.
I don't mean about Larry Bird is probably too recent. I mean like 40s, 50s, like when they were filming the games on like a birdhouse that you had to crank.
Yeah, well, it's like Julio and I were talking about the top 5 point guards of all time a couple episodes ago, and I said, like, people are gonna throw Oscar Robertson there. I don't want to hate on Oscar Robertson, but I never watched him play, and I'm not watching film from like the 60s and the 70s. I'm not watching that, so it's just like it sucks, because obviously I don't want to disrespect greatness in his own era.
You know what it's really similar to? Not to keep going on this, but when people talk about like the golden age of music, they're like Big Pun, like Julio, and like like all those guys, like like ODB and like Wu-Tang, like Drake and Kanye, like those guys have nothing on them. It's like it's the same argument. It's like,
yeah,
in a time where people grew up with that, that's all they knew, and now they hear this like new thing, or people watch a new style of basketball, and they're like, what is that? Like, what is it's a similar argument where it's like it's like era related.
Why can't each era just respect each era?
That's
that's why I just don't respect the 50s.
I don't either. We would take a shit on them.
That's why I respect.
We would.
That's why I respect Jordan. Jordan always put it the right way. Like that's why I never call himself the GOAT. He's like, I never got to play against the guys before me, so I ain't gonna disrespect him like that.
But MJ feels like he knows he's
of course he knows, but it's the right thing to say.
And I know this is gonna not be a popular opinion because we were talking about top 5 point guards and stuff. Like, let me ask you this: Magic Johnson, 6'9", fast break. I'm throwing to Elgin, I'm throwing alley-oops over here to Coop. I'm playing. I'm being the man. Magic Johnson, 6'9". Do you think Magic Johnson is gonna post somebody up from half court like he did his entire career? Post up. I'm talking about back to the basket. Spin move, spin move, spin move. That's not happening in 2000.
It's just the game. Well, it's because the game is just.
If
changed.
You don't change, you have to change with the times, just like music. That's why music's different. That's why
I know
NBA looks different. You have to change, because if you tried to, like you said, if Giannis tomorrow started doing the back down from half court like Magic Johnson, like the game would. Everybody, what is he doing?
No, he'd wait. Yeah.
And I'm picking him butt naked if I'm the other guy.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Excuse me.
No, it's just it's the game. I mean, that's why I hate when people watch the Jordan documentary and say, "Oh, Jordan, these are the guys covering Jordan. These guys are all scrubs." It's like, well, you know how physical, like you could literally put 2 hands on somebody and physically
what's funny
move
about the Jordan documentary is like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, those guys are scrubs. They're nobodies." Yeah, that's because there was no Instagram and Twitter and shit back then. Like there'd be a lot of scrubs in the NBA right now if there wasn't Instagram and Twitter. If you think about it, like I don't even know half the people on like
Detroit.
People, yeah, like who's on the Pistons? Like I don't know, but I've probably seen their
Savi
Instagram.
Mikhailo, he went to Kansas.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like back then those guys probably weren't even scrubs. It's just like you never heard about them because they weren't on like the front page of the Gazette or whatever people are reading.
All right. You got any more questions before we go into?
I'll hold off to the end. You guys.
Okay. All right. So we do the who, what. Julio and I came up with these questions, but I'll read them because I'm the one that wrote them down before we started the show. So we got a couple questions starting with who or what. So the first one is, what is your pregame ritual before for whatever, any kind of sporting game back in high school? What was your pregame ritual?
Caught you off guard, baby.
Yeah. No, it's just like I used to honestly like go to Wendy's and I would eat like a Wendy's meal and here's why, because in high school they like legitimately starve you, and then at like 1 o'clock they'll be like, oh, here's this old ass chicken patty, and then you had a game at 5, like an away game, so I would like have somebody bring me to Wendy's. I would eat Wendy's and then I would go to the game like almost every time. I swear to God. I bet you've never got that answer before.
No.
Little baconator and drop 20 on them.
Drop a 20-piece McNugget on.
That's a real thing, and I have witnesses to that.
All right, second question. What music do you listen to when you're sad?
This is a long list. I'm like sad every day. Like Chelsea Cutler. Have you guys ever heard of Chelsea Cutler?
Yeah, UMass.
Yeah.
Right?
No, she Amherst College, but yeah, she's a Connecticut. She's from Westport, Connecticut. She's yes, she's actually really big now. So like obviously Drake, and there's so much. There's so many. I mean, we could do a whole episode about what I listen to when I'm sad. You have to embrace it. It's like when you have like a toothache and you keep like licking it.
That's why.
Like,
that's why I
like,
said,
ooh, that hurts. That's what you have to do with music. Like, you have to. It has to hurt.
that's why music's the best. You can put when any mood you're in, you can find a song for it.
If anybody needs music to listen to when you're sad, you can email me and I'll send you a list.
We'll put that in the info.
Yeah. What is your favorite basketball memory as a player?
You want like the sappy one or you want like the real one?
Whatever.
I would say the sappy one was when I passed the ball to you to hit your 1,000 point in high school. That was a cool moment, even though you almost like scored the play before that and like messed the whole thing up. But
were you just planning that? You were planning?
Yeah, it was like they started me and I was supposed to pass to him. This dude gets a steal and thank God he missed the layup because I would have been the whole thing. That would have
been
it.
Doing that.
Hey, listen.
Selfish.
I play for buckets. I didn't.
Let me get in the
Once the game
newspaper.
started, the plan. Who cares?
It's not the plan. I mean,
all right, give me the real moment then.
The real one
sappy
is when I played at in summer league at Burgo, and I must have hit, I don't know, it was anywhere from like 12 to 15 threes, but like 10 of them were like in a row. I don't even know what happened. I was like just unconscious, and there was like a whole crowd of people that came to like watch it because I was shooting them from like 2 steps over half court. And I was just like, I've never shot like that in my life. I felt like Kevin Durant in that Rucker Park video. I really did.
Oh, because it's outside, right?
Yes,
outside.
and like people, there was a big crowd. Like,
did you get Wendy's after?
I probably did. It was in Dartmouth. I probably hit it on the way home. But that was cool. That was like I've never had like a game where I like dominated like that. So that was cool.
Who are the top 3 NBA players that you despise the most? You don't have to. It doesn't have to be in order.
I mean, it is in order, and it's
Okay.
Kyrie Irving number 1. I just hate his guts. I hate him. I hate everything about him. I hate everything he says. I hate the way he talks. I hate the way he was burning whatever the fuck he was burning at the Garden. I hate all that shit. It makes me sick. It makes my stomach hurt when I see him. I really hate him, and I have nothing good to say about him. For a long time, it was Kevin Durant because I just couldn't get over him going to the Warriors. I could not understand that. I don't hate him as much anymore, but he's definitely in the top 3 still, believe it or not. Like, I think he's an unbelievable player, but I hate him. I hate the way he looks. I hate how it looks like someone spilled coffee on the back of his head. Just shave your head, dude. I don't know. 3, it's slowly, like, ironically enough, Julio's not gonna like this. It's slowly becoming LeBron. And I loved LeBron.
Yeah, you were the biggest LeBron fan. Growing up.
He's miserable on the internet, like miserable. This is what it is. Ready? I'll show you what. Like, this is what following LeBron is like on social media. They could have lost the game. They probably did lose the game, but he had a dunk in the game, like a decently like cool dunk, and the caption is like the kid from Akron, 19. Thought I was gone or whatever, and it's like 18 different angles of like him dunking. And it's like, dude, you guys lost and you suck. Like, you literally suck. So I don't know. It's slowly becoming him. I don't have a great answer for that, but Kyrie Irving should count for all 3. Honestly, I have enough hate in my heart for 3 of him.
I think we saw those coming. I saw Kyrie coming from a mile away.
I mean, because growing up, that was your favorite player. It was LeBron.
I love LeBron, but I can't stand him off the court.
So who's your favorite player right now?
I don't know. Like, I probably would say Jaylen Brown, honestly.
All right, we just got 2. This was kind of like twofold to end it. What Netflix series are you watching currently?
I need some suggestions. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, this is actually, I'll take you on a quick one, but I just watched this one called Alone. You guys heard of that?
No.
All right. So basically they drop these people in the woods of Canada with a list of 10 items they can bring and a camera that never dies. It's like a whatever solar camera. And it's legit. You should look it up and you should watch it, and it'll blow your mind. And they have to survive for 100 days. If they survive for 100 days, they get $1 million. But it's real. Like, they can tap out whatever they want. They got like a little tap thing, but they have to build their own homes. They have to kill their own food. Spoiler alert, this dude killed a full ox. Like an ox like the size of a minivan.
Wait, this is like a reality show?
No, it's real. It's real. It's all filmed on GoPros.
Oh, really?
You got to watch it. It's good. Like, I usually don't like stuff like that. I don't like Survivor, man. I don't watch that stuff. I'm telling you, I don't watch like Bear Grylls. This is nuts, like nuts. And there's 10 people and they drop them in different parts of the woods in the middle of the winter.
Wow.
It's nuts. So that's I would highly recommend that. The one that I would not recommend is the one about the airplane that's like #1 in the world right now. Like, people went back in time. Manifest. Don't watch that. And if your girlfriend watches it, then cancel your Netflix account. It sucks. It sucks. It's terrible.
Okay.
All right. Well, the second fold of that question, I want to know because I think currently right now I'm watching my top 3 shows of all time. What are your top 3 shows of all
You're
time?
gonna say The Sopranos is in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He just saw it. He just started watching it too.
I'm on season 3. I already know it's in my top 3. The show is incredible.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous show. You never seen that, Julio?
I got to like season 3 too, I think.
And
Once the grandma looked like holographic, I was like, oh shit. Did you see that part?
no.
So the grandma, so the mother of Tony Soprano,
yeah,
she, like the actress, she dies during filming.
They've
yeah.
done that
Like,
before. They've done that
yeah,
before. with
so
other
like
shows.
she
That didn't bother me. It didn't bother
It
me.
creeped me out though a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
Go back and look at the scene. It kind of creeped you out a little bit, man. It creeped me out. I stopped watching after that. I got little nightmares. Can't lie to you.
That's definitely up there, and like, this is a pretty generic one, but Breaking Bad is 100% in there. I watched it again, and then like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, man. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
You got to watch The Wire.
Oh, so that's what we haven't started yet.
Yeah,
Dude, that's what we're about to do.
If that's not in your top 3, I think it's the best show I've ever watched, and I'm only halfway through it. And it's honestly incredible. They'd have to have a Game of Thrones bad ending for me to not put it in the top 3.
Yeah. I would probably. But Julio, what are your top 3 shows?
I mean, I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy guy.
Okay.
Did you watch that?
That's one
That's
that
a
I've
good
like
show.
gone in, stopped, tried to come back.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
It is. It really is. I mean, that's my number 1. Sons of Anarchy is number 1. I don't put it up. Do you guys like Power? I like Power.
I've never watched that, man.
You never watched Power?
I've watched bits and
You
pieces.
never watched Power? No. Put the screen back on Ryan.
Okay.
You look at me in the eye.
I don't know where your eyes are. Like, I don't know.
You never watched
I am
Power
looking
with 50?
I've never watched that. I'll put
Oh
it on
my
my
God.
list right now.
Listen, you're talking about probably one of the best shows.
I just
Of
put
all
it on
time.
my. I just put
Power,
it on my
yes.
list.
It's on Showtime, I think. You have Showtime? What do you have, HBO?
That's all the same thing now, right?
I think Showtime is separate from HBO Max.
I'll just like pirate it. Yeah. Okay.
So watch that Power. And then I liked like little cheesy shows. Like I watched Friday Night Lights,
Oh, I
the
love
football
that show.
show. I love that show. You know, it kind of
It's
gave
like
me
a
a little
horrible
weird-
acting. Like the acting is like probably the worst in any show in the world, but it makes it good.
Exactly. It's kind of like a Dawson's Creek-ish, you know,
It's
One Tree
Michael B.
Hill-ish.
Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Yes, it is like it's One Tree Hill football.
Yeah. Look at, we're talking about our guilty pleasures. What are we doing here? All right,
Gilmore
Maddie.
Girls.
What's next?
That was it. That was the last question I had.
Perfect. Right, you got more questions for us? Talk to me.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask you guys if you Julio, I was actually I had a couple of Julio. I was gonna actually ask you why you're so out on J. Cole.
Wow, I like this. I like this transition here.
You're so out on him.
You
And
know,
this could be like your bonus content because I know this is like off.
no, this is perfect. I mean, I would like, I like to talk more about this stuff. To be honest, and quite frankly, I just don't think that J. Cole has been the same since The warm up.
Yeah, but
Like,
this
you know
goes
what I
back.
mean?
This goes back to that discussion about like Bob Cousy.
Of course, like, obviously evolving with the game and stuff. But I honestly thought that like J. Cole at the time when he was rapping warm up and the come up, and even a little bit of the sideline story. Because I actually, when the album came out for a sideline story, I was in college. I think I was a sophomore. I went right to Bull Moose in Maine. It was like a little GameStop, and I went and I brought it. It was like $12. I didn't have $12 in college, but I still bought it. And I don't know.
I did that too. I'd have like $40 in my checking account. I'd buy like 2 albums. I'd be like, oh shit, it's like half my net worth.
I think with J. Cole, though, I think he's not rapping enough about the stuff that I'm interested in. I think he's really evolved, obviously, and I think he's still a good rapper. I just don't think what he talks about is, I just can't relate to it anymore. Drake, obviously, will always have something that I can relate to. Mike Stud, somebody under the radar who I can just like relate to.
Yeah, I agree.
Like J. Cole,
that
like
I'm not going to disagree with.
He's still got bars, and he's still like lyrically, obviously, one of the best ever. But right now, when he was doing the warm up and the come up, I was in college. I was, broke, talking about relationships, talking about hooping, and he just don't do it for me anymore. I really don't know, and it really hurts.
That happens like with artists with me too. I think but to put it back, like if let's say he kept making like Friday Night Lights, let's say he kept making like.
Or the Truly Yours. Remember the Truly Yours?
Yeah, like, let's say every album he put out was that, right?
Yeah.
He would lose, and like this is what it's become. He would lose 1 million fans, but he would keep like me and you and like the core people. You know what I mean? Like he would appease us, but like he wouldn't attract all the people he does now. Do you know what I mean? Like people would be like, this album sucks, it's boring. Yeah. Because he had to like change with the times. I don't like the way he changed either. Like For Your Eyes was terrible.
Yeah.
That was like that Folding Clothes song was like horrible. I was like, oh my God.
KOD.
Yeah, like
horrible. You like KOD,
no, I like 2 songs on it. Okay. It was mostly horrible. Mostly like, am I still listening to this? Is this song 7 minutes? Like that's what I would say. But no, I agree with you. I just was curious, like what part about it you didn't like? Because like his new album, like I will play probably every day still, but like I know what you mean. It doesn't feel like I'm holding like a J. Cole like album. Like I don't get as excited about it.
Yeah. He's still gonna be, in my top 10, but he would probably be number 10 right now. He
doesn't move the needle like he used to. That's true. Like if Drake tweeted tonight, like I'm coming on Friday, I'd probably like cancel all my plans on like Thursday.
Same.
I would. I'd be like, I gotta be home at like midnight. I don't feel that about him, about Cole.
Yeah. It's all Drake, baby. We're Drake. OVO, baby.
Yeah, but I was just curious about that. I was curious about that from you.
No, you know me. We talk music all the time. I need something that can hit the soul. I need that.
Other question I was going to ask you is, will you commit to this? If the Knicks win the finals in the next 10 years, will you get a tattoo?
Wow.
You don't have to. Just this is what I think
about it now.
This is what I'll say, because this is what I'll say. Ian is a big Eagles fan, and he told all of us, and he tweeted it. It's still up on Twitter, that if the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, he would get a big dick Nick tattoo. And he never has, and they suck now. And they've never been good since the Super Bowl. So he thinks it's his fault. So I'm just saying, if you commit to that, that's fine. We're here for you, but this is going to be documented. I'll go with you to get it. I think you'd be on such a high that you'd be like, I'm going to get a tattoo tomorrow.
Listen, I'll say yes because I know damn well we'll never win an NBA championship.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Probably gonna re-sign Amari Stoudemire for all we know. Do some dumb shit. The Medeiros family. Shout out to Kev. Who's the better shooter? Before we go, talk to him because I know he's listening.
Kev is.
No. I would wreck him. I would.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, he thinks he's good because he's been shooting against his sons his whole life. And like the Westport Rec League with like retired firemen in it.
3-point line to 3-point line. That's his range, maybe. That's his range.
Before we go, I have to. I know we're dragging this on. Yo,
No, don't keep going.
only because it made me think of Kev. Kev's the only dude I seen he rocked my Kobe jersey to a men's league game and got buckets in it. And the reason I'm saying, if you
what the
rock,
people said about him.
but if you rock a jersey like, especially like Kobe, you better be balling. Because there was this dude that I saw a pickup last week. I don't even know his name, but he was wearing a Luka jersey. He was not great at basketball. It's a bad look to anybody out there if you're going to pick up and you're wearing someone's
It's
jersey.
a bad look in general.
In
Honestly,
general.
I don't even respect you if you're good. I'd be like, fuck you. You're like, okay, you're
I'm
killing me,
saying-
but you dress like that.
And that's what I'm saying. In general, I would say don't wear one. But if you do, you better be balling.
My thing is like, you go in your closet that day and you don't have anything else that you'd rather wear. I wouldn't even want to get a jersey sweaty, would you?
Well, right. Good stuff, man. It was a pleasure having you and your brother on. Like I said, I love you guys.
Hey, just stay true to yourself. And if nobody wanna help you, you can do it yourself. And if you live and impress others, it's how you losing yourself. And if you keep on running back, you just abusing yourself. Damn. I pray to God that you find your way. And when times is good, don't forget to pray. And be thankful for all the blessings that seem to come your way, cause that's how more come to you. That's all I had to say.